IncGamers Plays.
Hello and welcome to IncGamers Plays Sanctum 2. I am Tim McDonald and I'm joined as usual by Mr. Peter Parrish. Hello Peter.
Hello Tim, I am as usual Peter Parrish.
I'm glad you're Peter Parrish as per usual rather than someone else.
I could have, well, for the purposes of this, I'm probably going to be Hagen Hawkins, actually.
Yes, this is Sanctum 2, which is a kind of a hybrid between a tower defense and a first-person shooter. We're playing on the fourth level in the game, called The Gate, which is fairly early, but it's got a couple of nasty little tricks. It's a fairly open one that lets you build your maze and your towers how you want to, but we'll show you that in a moment. But yes, first things first, you've got character select. All the characters have different weapons, different abilities. Hagen does more damage when close to enemies, he's got more health. Simo does more weak spot damage and has better accuracy, and so on and so forth. I'm going to be playing as Simo with the sniper rifle and the extra weak spot damage, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, I just like the shotgun, honestly. I've been playing with both Hagen and Skye. I quite like her assault rifle, but the shotgun is always good to have, you know. Get up nice and close and just blast away, basically.
Indeed. What we're looking at now is the loadout screen where you can kind of customise your character. Each of the characters has a primary weapon which is fixed. For Simo it's the sniper rifle, for Hagen it's the shotgun, and also a secondary weapon, and you unlock more of these as you level up. I've got the voltaic hand cannon at the moment, which fires out little energy orbs that penetrate enemies. But we've also unlocked the battle rifle so far. In case you're wondering why I don't have everything unlocked, it's because the latest patch deleted my saves, so I'm very sad.
Not that you're bitter about that at all.
No, not at all. I'm not annoyed at the fact that I'm now considerably less than half the level I was before.
We were like, yeah, we'll just record a video of this. That'll be like, oh, it's patched. Oh, it's removed all our saves, and now we have to level up again to unlock perks so we can show them off. Oh well, mind.
Yeah, tower-wise, we've got a few unlocked. We've got the cannon, which is quite neat. We'll be talking about that a little bit later because that's got quite a nice little twist to it. The Gatling Tower, Lightning Tower, a mine dispenser, which builds mines which you can put down on the battlefield, which is quite handy. There's the ACP, which does damage to everything around it, and the Kairos, which slows targets.
I'm thinking one of us should take the Kairos, actually, because I recall this level having some quite a few waves with fast-moving little bastards on it.
You can take it if you want to.
I think I will. I have.
Right, fine.
Yeah, deal with it.
I'm taking the Cannon Tower, the Lightning Tower, and the Gatling Tower, which is a fairly nice mix between things that do. Well, the Gatling Tower is fast but does low damage, the Cannon Tower is kind of a mix, and the Lightning Tower is slow but does heavy damage.
I'm considering getting Corpse Explosion as my perk for when I've killed an enemy it explodes and the damage dealt is 25% of its base health. That sounds quite tasty.
Yeah, there's loads of perks and they're all very, very useful. You do unlock more perk slots and tower slots as you proceed, I should say. You don't just have the one. We've got a mix of things between healing the core after each wave, or increasing weak spot damage, removing weak spot damage entirely but increasing standard weapon damage, instant respawns. The one I've gone for was static discharge. Adds a lightning bounce to your shot that deals 50% of weapon damage to another close enemy, which when you're using a weapon like Simo's sniper rifle is very, very useful.
And I think I know this because I asked you before we started. The perks are new to Sanctum 2, are they not?
They are indeed.
Who's played a lot of Sanctum.
I've played like 48 hours of Sanctum. Yeah, I've got a history with this series. Something else that's new is that the resources now drop out of the sky and land next to the core, and only one player can pick them up. So I've filched them this time. Nah.
Ooh. Yeah, there's no shared resources, it doesn't seem like. So even though I can build this Kairos tower and stuff, I actually can't right now because Tim's nicked them all.
Yeah, so right now all the enemies will be coming from this side. We've got 8 walkers, which are kind of the very standard enemy. Later on they will also be coming from up here and over there, which makes this kind of a pain in the ass to defend. But for now, they're only coming from this side, so we'll just start off by building a nice long corridor for them to walk down.
I suppose the shared resources, or rather unshared resources thing, encourages cooperation in the sense that you are going to have to get along with the person that you're playing with pretty much, or they're going to have to know what they're doing, otherwise you're going to be a bit screwed if they're greedy but incompetent.
It does. I mean, on the one hand, I kind of dislike it because I sort of liked both players being able to do things without the other one's consent. I was going to say that this kind of means that you really don't want to play it with randoms because they might just steal all the resources and you won't get to do anything. But on the other hand, you kind of need to trust the person you're playing with before anyway, because otherwise, if you were both trying to build entirely different maze designs, it would get very screwed up.
Same problem, really. You're just going to have random crap all over the place.
We're going to build a cannon tower there, which is... it's and a lightning tower there. Yeah, the cannon tower is an interesting one in that when you upgrade it, it starts off doing not very much damage, but it attacks quite quickly. As you upgrade it, it does more damage and its range gets bigger, but it attacks more slowly. So cannon towers are ones which, just by upgrading them, you can change them from things that really kill weaker enemies to things that are suited mainly for the bigger ones. Right, I've exhausted everything.
Let's go. Oh, we've also got some little conscript guys helping us out, who I care about deeply, and Tim doesn't give a shit about. So
I'm role playing my robot character.
Does he not experience emotions like normal men?
I'm guessing not, but you know, there is a story with little comic book style cutscenes before every level. So, all right, let's get started with this wave.
I get the impression my character's pretty laissez-faire as well, given the art style makes it appear like he's.
Did your corpse explosion just kill 2 of those conscripts?
No, because I care about them and that would be terrible. It would be some sort of a war crime, you might say.
Sanctum's got a very weird reload system, which is one of its little touches that I quite like, which is that when a weapon overheats, you essentially switch to the other weapon. You don't have to keep one weapon active to reload, you're just kind of swapping back and forth between your 2. And there we go. That was the first wave. Wasn't that easy?
Which I quite like, actually. It means that your secondary weapon choice is actually important. It's not just that other thing that you have and barely ever use.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to steal the resources again. I think I will for these first few waves, because as they start coming from different directions, it gets a bit confusing. In this case,
yeah, we have successfully done this level before, but when I did it in single player, I died. So there we go.
Yeah, what we're planning on doing, or what I'm planning on doing at least, if I press tab, I can bring up a nice big map that shows everything off.
I've got a question that you may not know the answer to, Tim, but I'm still curious. Is this in the Source engine? Because it sort of feels like Source, but also not.
I don't think it is, but I don't know for certain, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
We've got lots of the little ones coming from up top, so I will temporarily put a Gatling tower down there as well.
Yeah, I know, it's the first time I started playing it, I thought, this feels a lot like Source, but I'm also not sure it is. Just fine by me, I like the Source engine.
Yeah, the Source engine's very nice. It's extraordinarily well optimised, particularly now, but it still looks quite tasty. Shall I go and try and kill the little things, the walker pups that are coming from up here?
You can kill whatever you want to.
Thanks!
I'll head over here then and shoot the slightly larger walkery things.
Sniper rifle isn't exactly ideal for killing the little ones, but because of the lightning bounce ability I've got, I can hit 2 of them at once, and with my alternate fire, I've got penetrating shots as well. Not alternate fire, my alternate weapon, I mean.
I'm wondering if the corpse explosion damages me as well.
And me, for that matter.
Because considering I have to get quite close to use the shotgun effectively.
Oh dear, you may have taken a silly.
Yeah, maybe.
Peter is today showing off perks that don't work well with particular characters.
I don't know, it doesn't seem to actually be damaging me, so I think...
No, that's alright then.
I think we're okay.
Now, we've got screamers here, which are some of the ones which attack you from range. You may have noticed what I did just then, which was firing at the enemy weak spot. The damage appeared in red. and it did considerably more than usual. All the enemies have a weak spot, and ideally you want to try aiming for that. On some of them it's a bit harder to reach than others though.
If you're busy panicking and just wildly spraying fire all over the place, you might not get around to doing that. I'm going to explore the map with it. I found a customs security checkpoint.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I really love about Sanctum actually, is that the maps are really explorable. There's loads of stuff around, and there's usually some little extra goodies to help hidden around as well.
I think I'm setting off the weapons alarm thing.
There's a nice Lord of the Rings reference in one of the other levels actually.
Are you going to spoil that, or
no?
Is that a teaser?
That's just a tease. There's one thing around. Is there anything down here? Yeah, there's some mines down here on this side of the map.
Oh, awesome.
There's 2 of them, so if you want to go and grab the other one and put it down somewhere, you can.
That actually sounds pretty useful.
I think I'm going to drop this one.
It's worth looking around. I mean, the areas aren't gigantic or anything, but it is worth hunting around. There's some conscripts like rocking back and forth, holding their heads in terror. Probably because they heard about what happened with the exploding corpse earlier.
Yeah, it's all your fault,
maybe.
You monster.
I'm sorry. Just can't help doing war crimes.
Exploding your own troops, you complete bastard.
Would it help if it was an accident?
No. Blue on blue, man. With this, you do have you can sell towers and get back their full resources, unless you've got a particular feat of strength switched on. You can play levels with feat of strengths turned on, which are they make the game a lot harder and give you more experience for playing as well.
I think it was stuff like enemies regenerate, enemies move faster, etc.
Enemies have more health. You don't respawn if you die. Yes.
All things that you really want to happen.
I hate these ones, Walker Warriors. They are quite big, they jump.
I'm going to counter them by running away. Wait, he's dead. Hooray! I just put down some mines there with the alternate fire of the battle rifle.
That's quite cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, the battle rifle is quite nice as a secondary thing, in terms of the fact that it's fairly long range, extremely accurate, quite high damage.
He's getting to the core. Not anymore, he's not. Stop punching the conscripts! Oh, you fucker, right, you're in for it now.
And now we've got a time limit before the next wave starts, and unfortunately this wave is also the one where it starts throwing all of the entrances at us.
Yay!
So in case you didn't guess what I was doing before with this lot, I was essentially building it down so that everything coming from the right hand side meets up with everything coming from the left hand side and funnels them into one nice long corridor where the same towers can shoot them.
And then they will die grisly deaths, which is what we want, because they're evil alien scum.
Exactly.
I assume. I don't really know what the plot is, but I'm just assuming.
It's something like that.
So, is there anything else that we haven't yet mentioned?
No, we've explained literally the entire game.
Don't get snarky with me.
Did you really just tell me not to get snarky? It's like telling a fish not to swim.
I know. What I was meaning is the differences between the first game and this game. Have we covered the main differences, or
for the most part? Yeah.
I mean, obviously, people who've played the first one will be able to watch this and figure out for themselves which parts look different and which it's. Oh, the fact that the enemies actually attack you, isn't that a difference?
That is different, yeah. Previously they just kind of knocked you about a bit more than anything. They were very good at knocking you off the map, but they didn't directly attack you, chase after you, or anything like that.
Yeah. So that's kind of interesting.
It is. The walls are also a lot lower, and you don't have televators anymore, which were little elevators that would get you to the top of the walls, and you could also teleport to them at any time by just bringing up the map. So they were very good for getting from A to B.
See.
I do love the enemy design, actually. It's much the same as it was in the first game, although it's a bit prettier. I like the kind of glowing effect on the enemies.
They're very organic, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're like Tyranids from Warhammer 40,000 or something.
A little bit. Right, do you want to take the resources this time and start building things up?
Not really, but I will.
You've got the Kairos Tower, you can slow things down.
Yes, actually I'm going to do that, just for the sake of it.
And depending on what's coming...
But my master plan here is to continue building the maze a little bit further, so they've got to walk further, they've got to walk past our towers twice, and hopefully that's going to screw them up a bit.
Generally in Sanctum it wasn't really a good idea to build big long corridors, because certain enemies like the chargers would just reach terminal velocity going along there, and they wouldn't get shot at all. But on this level it's not too bad a plan for the most part. There are some fast moving enemies, but I mean, one of the other things we could do is not extend this further so much and just have it constantly kind of building in a zigzag pattern, but nah. Right, what have we got? We've got 40 fast moving things and 8 screamers coming from there, 8 walkers coming from there, and 2 armoured heavies, so I'll go and deal with them.
I know.
Armoured heavies are really big, and any damage you do to them is reduced by 300, which means that slow firing heavy damage weapons are ideal, and their weak spotters on their back, which is pretty good in this round. In other rounds where they're accompanied by snorkers, which are the little things that run at you and explode, not so good.
Corpse explosion is proving okay for these fast moving ones.
I should possibly leave the armoured heavy on low health so that you can kill him.
Maybe. I'm a little tied up there.
I've left him on low health. He'll only take a couple of hits to kill if you want to, although I suppose the towers will have done it by now anyway.
Most likely.
I really didn't like this secondary weapon to start with, the voltaic hand cannon. Just because I would have preferred almost anything else. The ability to shoot through enemies is really handy. Oh dear, I'm being bombed by walkers. The enemies, not the crisp manufacturer. Gary Lineker didn't just... Oh no, I'm not carrying on with that. I'll get sued if I carry on with that sentence.
Oh no, conscripts! They were killed by a suicide bomber. Oh, it's terrible. It's modern day terrorism. It's just no good.
Alien terrorism, man.
I know.
There we go.
Shall I get the resources again?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know whether it's worth having 2 Kairos towers. Oh, I want to check something actually. Can I sell your towers? I can!
Oh. Okay, well that's actually kind of interesting.
Yeah, I can sell your towers and rearrange things if I want to. That's quite good.
Yeah.
I did just remove that Kairos tower because I'm not quite sure how they work in terms of whether they're area of effect or whether they do actually target particular enemies, but I don't know whether having 2 right next to each other is a good idea.
That's fine.
So I'll sell that one as well, which gives me resources with which I can buy other towers.
I just dropped a block on top of a conscript and he died.
I thought you were the one who cared about them. So far in this you've been blowing them up, dropping things on them.
I do care about them, but unfortunately the line of fire has proved fatal for them.
I'm going to upgrade some of the towers we've got along the front. And one of the lightning towers and one of the cannon towers, which has replacements drop in and smash them to bits, which I quite like. Got soakers coming from down the bottom, walkers from over there, and fast moving little horrible shits coming from up there. I hate those things.
I'll try and explode their corpses.
Okay, I'm going to focus on the soaker, because if you remember, viewers, I have a perk that means that when I shoot things it does 50% of the damage to nearby enemies. And if you've played Sanctum, you will know that soakers have loads of health but take huge amounts of damage.
Therefore, it's going to turn into a walking bomb.
Yeah, therefore me shooting them will essentially result in everything nearby dying, with a bit of luck. Yep, all walkers running along behind them are getting completely stuffed. Oh dear, I'm being punched in the bottom again.
I should probably be helping you out with that, but I wasn't.
What is it about my bottom that these monsters like so much?
I don't know. Is that what they've come to Earth for? To cop a feel of some robot ass. No wonder we're trying to stop them, that's disgraceful. Robot sexism, when will it end?
I'm not convinced we're on Earth, actually.
No, that's a good point. That's a very good point.
I should add, I did pay attention to the story to some extent, but I can't remember if that's ever actually pointed out.
It could be an Earth of the future. They're trying to grab their ass again.
They're going for my body.
Yeah, I know.
My poor innocent bottom. And we've got a tight time limit.
Oh, you can grab them this time.
Yeah, I'm stealing them. Sorry.
We're at wave 7. Alright. Feeling good, feeling confident. The core has taken 0 damage so far. So far. I've just jinxed it.
Yeah, that won't last. Thanks, Peter.
Hooray!
I'll rearrange this a little bit so that we can extend upwards.
Sounds good.
Hey, that conscript survived. I'm surprised.
Excellent. Well done. I approve. See, this guy up here who stood on something, he's a smart guy.
Because you can't drop towers on him.
Well, and also the enemies can't really get him. These ones who just stood in the middle of our maze. Not so smart, really, gotta say.
What have we got? 2 armoured heavies and 40 fast moving things up there, 2 heavy walkers and 8 walkers down there, 1 soaker and 8 walkers over there.
Yep.
I'll go and deal with the soaker to start then, I suppose. Or the armoured heavy, rather. I suppose considering how long it's going to take him to get down the maze, I should probably be focusing on literally anything else. So I'll sit at long range and snipe the soaker instead. Use the alt fire on the hand cannon, which sends out homing orbs that move slower, but home in on enemies, which is quite neat.
Aha. Time for me to be doing the shooting in the alien body.
Well played.
Take that, armoured heavy. Not so armoured directly behind yourself, are you?
You are just the worst at trash talking.
I wasn't really trying, but I guess.
Seriously, I've heard better trash talking on Call of Duty, and that's all just, oh, your mum's rubbish.
Oh, your mum gave birth to you. Your mum nurtured you through childhood. Oh.
I really want to go and play Call of Duty now and just start slagging people off with things like that.
Your mum probably taught you how to dress and stuff. Your mum taught you basic childhood functions.
Well, you're much better at terrible trash talk than I am.
I've had a lifetime to fine-tune it.
Alright, so to... oh yes, right. Last wave of this. And it includes a boss, which is going to make me cry. I was going to say though, while I get set up and rearrange things for the boss, what are your thoughts on Sanctum 2, so that we don't have 15 minutes of us staring at a blank screen?
Yeah, we've fine-tuned this system now, haven't we?
Yes.
Yeah, you know, I don't think there are many games like it. I mean, you may correct me on that, but as far as I know, there aren't really very many tower defense / FPS hybrids.
No, I can't think of many, honestly.
No, I'm also not carrying any baggage from the first game, because I didn't play that at all. So I not just the fact that it's an original idea. I like the fact that it seems to combine its ideas pretty well. You have this, as you are demonstrating now, the kind of tactical maze setup aspect, which I can already foresee is going to be in the later levels, and when you've got like the feats of strength stuff on, it's going to be pretty vital to know what you're doing, and as regards the sort of strengths and weaknesses of the tower and how to build an effective maze and everything. And then you've got a perfectly satisfying first-person shooter aspect as well, that when you get the enemies coming, switch to your guns and start blasting away. And again, you still have to have some kind of tactical awareness for finding the weak spots and doing good perk combos, like you've mentioned. So yeah, I haven't played it a vast amount, but I'm pretty positive of what I've seen so far.
Excellent.
How about yourself? Because I know in your preview you were kind of a little bit, oh, it's changed some things from Sanctum, I'm not sure I like that. But then made the very good point, I thought, that we continuously talk about sequels as just going, well, it's just more of the same, why have you just done the same game again?
Yep.
So the fact that this isn't is, got to be addressed as, assuming it hasn't ruined things, as a good thing, really.
Yeah, no, it's the same basic concept, but it's a very different take on it. Like I say, I don't know whether I like it as much as I do the first game, although it does fix a few of the problems that had. But on the other hand, it does a lot of stuff really well. I'm going to crush this conscript, sorry.
Oh.
Yeah,
heartbreaking.
I'm going to crush you.
You have.
Wasn't quite as intentional as you might think.
This would be great for griefing, wouldn't it? I mean.
No, I quite like it. As I say, I haven't decided whether I like it as much as Sanctum, but it is still a really enjoyable game. I'm not quite as sold on the unlocking aspect, because A, I know what I'm doing, and B, well, I'm now having to unlock everything again, because the beta got updated. But that's something I can't really complain.
Being a games writer, though, isn't it?
That's not really the game's fault. That's not a flaw of the unlock system itself. That's my fault for stupidly going and unlocking nearly everything before. But yeah, I do like the game. I like the fact that it's actually doing something different with the same concept. Because I mean, Sanctum, if you really like the original Sanctum, it's still there. You can still play it. On the other hand, if you quite like the changes, then you can go for them instead, which seems to be the best way of doing it, honestly.
Yep.
I do kind of wish we'd shown off one of the other later levels, because as you mentioned before, there are some really good level designs later on that really force you to play cleverly and tactically, in terms of both where you decide to hole up and where you decide to put your towers and your maze. Yeah, I generally approve, if I'm honest with you. Right, should we get this final wave started?
Let's see if we can handle this boss, yeah.
I should point out, the reason why I've moved all of the towers back is because this boss... Well, you'll see.
He's quite angry, I think, for some reason.
Yeah, a little bit. He's not best pleased at dealing with our shit.
Really is not, no.
A boss has arrived, the game helpfully tells us.
I do like that message, that's pretty old school.
Yeah. I should add, these aren't the only types of boss you encounter, there are a few others, and all of them are deeply unpleasant to fight. He's got obscene amounts of health, and he smashes down walls and towers, which is why I moved the towers away from that, because otherwise he'd be breaking them while leaving it like this, he can shoot at them instead.
See, that was some helpful foresight, having played this level before, because if you didn't know that he was going to smash down walls...
Yeah, that very nearly screwed me the first time. I think he and most of the others reached the core, but I managed to fight them off and win. Still wasn't exactly ideal though. I'm back over this way and try and hit him in his weak spot. Treat him like a giant enemy crab at a Sony conference. Yeah, it may not be a good idea for me to focus entirely on him, or at least it wouldn't be in single player, because all the other enemies would probably be getting through, but in this case, you can deal with them, and I can shoot at him, and stop him from smashing all of our defences.
Just got a couple of dudes left, and I think they're about to die. Success.
Huzzah. Did anyone actually make it through? Did we have a fully defensive tower? Oh, and I've ranked up again. What have I unlocked? The ETK Tesla prototype, which is my favourite of the secondary weapons that I've seen. Unfortunately, we probably won't be... Oh, we could maybe show that off, actually. Movement speed increase perk that lets me double jump. Plumber shoes.
Great. That is great.
You deal 5,000 damage to enemies you land on, increases air control. And an extra perk slot.
Nice.
Yeah, you can see the difference between damage dealt, kills, towers, and a little post-stat screen.
Weak spots, hits, spin on building, jumping, no deaths. Nice one.
Indeed. Right, I'll tell you what, should we try something utterly insane?
Sure.
Should we try that level again, but with all of the feats of strength turned on?
We could do that, or we could try a different level with all the feats of strength turned on.
Yeah, we could.
Just to kind of mix up the...
I should add there is also an easy mode and a survival mode as well. Survival kind of gradually turns on feats of strength. I'm just looking for one of the other interesting levels. I think I'll have to go to the Rocky Fields, the second area in the game.
Yeah, let's do that.
We can try construction site, which is the one that we did before. So you can see the little comic book scenes here.
Shit's going down.
That's the basic upshot of it. Right, so I'll swap out the voltaic hand cannon for the ETK Tesla prototype. High-powered electricity stream that hits an area, strong current that bounces between targets. Which means that my sniper rifle is now augmented by essentially a really rapid-fire weapon. I'll stick to the towers I've got. And for my second perk... could increase weak spot damage by 40%. Which might prove to be useful, considering enemies are going to have more health, be regenerating.
Yeah, I'm not overly confident, I have to say.
No, me either, really. This is an entirely different map. We've got kind of two enemy entrances up the far side. We've got some environmental hazards down here. Peter, you can build up on this one. I'll explore the map for the viewers.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we've got a landing pad up here.
Well, right now we've got flying things coming in, so the blocks aren't going to do anything really.
This landing pad has a mine on it. At least it looks like a landing pad. Might be something else. I've got a mine. That won't do anything against the flying things either. I'll go and drop it down here anyway.
Cannon towers because, well, a cannon tower. That's all I can afford. And I'm going to upgrade it a bit.
Okay.
That'll be sure to do everything we need. I'm pretty sure. Oh, that died really quickly. That's easy. This is easy, Tim.
Yeah, the first wave where there's only 3 enemies. I'm amazed this is going so well.
So this is going to be hard.
I did. I'm hoping it is, because I don't want to upload a video that's an hour long.
I'm pretty confident that that won't be happening. Shall I get the resources again?
You might as well. We've got enemies coming from the other side. Which includes one enemy that's on foot. So I'll put my mine, I'll move it over there again.
Do these environmental hazards hurt me?
Yes.
You sure? I'm kind of... Oh, yeah. It does.
Yeah, I discovered
Slowly,
this when I
yes.
accidentally walked backwards into one of them. Firewalk with me.
Did I
really just make a Twin Peaks reference?
Yeah.
Apropos of nothing.
We're not even playing Alan Wake.
Wow. Are you trying to drop towers on me?
I'm not trying, I'm going to. Oh no, not anymore. Oh. Right. You can be a cannon and you can also be upgraded.
We've got our mine there, which will help against that armoured walker. Not armoured walker,
Do you think Alan Wake 2 is going to be one of the new Xbox's exclusive games?
I don't know, that also kind of came out of nowhere.
Apropos, absolutely nothing. Well, did I mention Alan Wake?
True.
The first one's quite good. And these ones are quite tough now, aren't they?
Yeah, they're taking quite a lot of killing.
Especially since they're regenerating and they're really hard.
I do have extra weak spot damage, but unfortunately that was mostly for dealing with things like soakers. It's not so much use against the ones where the weak spot's harder to hit.
Oh, it's above me. Hello. There we go.
We've got 1 minute for you to put down the rest of the defences. Go!
Oh god. Pressure.
Run, you fool!
I'm running.
Sorry, we referenced Twin Peaks, I thought I'd reference Lord of the Rings. I mean, I did mention there was a Lord of the Rings reference.
Was that it? Was that the Lord of the
It
Rings
actually
reference?
kind of was, but there is something else to it as well. There's a... I'll spoil it. There's a guy hanging off in a kind of little hidden area. He's hanging off the edge of a broken bridge, and he tells you, he says, "Run, you fools," and then he falls off. So he basically does
Mr. Frodo?
He basically does a Gandalf. I'm
Mr.
sorry
Frodo?
if
I'll carry you, Mr. Frodo. That's all I know about Lord of the Rings. No, that's not true. I know a lot more about Lord of the Rings. Who am I trying to fool?
Why are you lying to me and the viewers, Peter?
I don't know. Don't know.
Is this something pathological?
It might be. Stupid fat hobbitses.
Man, these enemies are certainly attacking a lot more than they were.
Yeah. Not very happy with us, are they?
A little bit pissy.
Oh man, yeah, my health's going crazy. It's all going dark, Tim. I'm dead.
Oh dear.
That's bad news, because that means I only respawn at the next build phase.
Yeah, this means I'm all on my own. Now I'm not going to start singing all by myself.
I've apparently fainted. So if
can't
we
I
both
shoot
die,
this
we're
thing?
effectively screwed because they're just going to wail on the core infinitely.
It's alright, one of them shooting or hitting me instead.
You know, I actually did worse at this than I thought I was going to. I thought I'd make it past the first 3 waves, but seems that isn't the case.
The weak spot for the Screamers is on their back, so unfortunately, because he's shooting at me, I can't really get access to him. Okay, welcome back.
Hey! Right. Resources time.
This video is obscenely long as it is.
Don't worry, we can die.
In the hopes of lowering the file size so that I don't have to spend 3 hours uploading it, I'm just going to sort of stand still and stare at the ground for a moment. Ooh, you're putting a slow tower there. On the side where there are fires.
Changed my mind to a lightning one.
Ah, fair enough.
I was thinking if we manage to build enough to start funneling them, I'll put a slow tower down.
Okay.
But that may be immaterial.
And or irresponsible.
Yeah.
Oh dear, I'm walking into fire.
Oh, me too.
Oh, I'm dead. It's all up to you.
Oh, Christ. Well...
Are you a bad enough dude to rescue the core?
No.
Why are we referencing all sorts of random stuff?
Oh no. Oh shit. Oh god, Tim, help.
I can't, I'm dead. Oh, I'll help. Shoot them. Shoot the guys until they die.
Too late. Too late.
It's all turning red.
So, I don't think level 8 was really high enough to tackle this level with every single feat of strength turned on.
I think that maybe we need a different strategy as well.
Yeah.
However, because of the feats of strength, we did get quite a bit of experience for that.
We did. Hooray.
Right, that's Sanctum 2.
It certainly is.
It's quite neat. I like it quite a lot. I'm still not convinced I like it as much as the first game, but I like the fact that it does something different. I like it. You should maybe consider it.
Yeah, and Tim, your preview is up on the site on IncGamers.com, IncGamers.com. We also have an exclusive developer diary as well about the environments and sound design and stuff. So go and have a look at that on IncGamers.com.
Thank you for watching.